poison.
Welcome to Tony Rose Arena in game number 3 of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Finals. The Orangeville Northmen leading the Mimico Mountaineers 2-0. And if you're a fan of Mimico, it is go time right now because it's been a long time since Orangeville has won 4 straight, which would be the case should they take a 3-0 series lead tonight. I'm Matthew Carrick alongside Jonathan Donville, the JVI Sports Network, as we welcome you to the OJLL Finals.
Yeah, Matty, simple math. The difference between 2-1 going home to Mimico and 3-0 having to come back to Tony Rose at least 2 more times is massive. Obviously not technically a must-win. Mimico is not going to be eliminated tonight with a loss, but getting pretty close to that must-win territory, right? You need the path to a championship for Mimico is going to require at least 1 win here. The sooner you get it, the sooner you can focus on defending Mimico Arena.
You have to go back all the way to 2018 when the Brampton Excelsiors won 4 straight after Orangeville won Game 1 of the Ontario Finals in this building August 2nd, August 5th. 10-8 and 9-8 the scores there. Mimico yet to score more than 10 here in the final series. They've both been by scores of 9. We'll see if the defense can keep Orangeville under that number or if Finn Thompson is correct and their offensive depth will come through to put Mimico over the 10 mark. Dudemain trying that. He's been most of the offense in this series with back-to-back 4 spots.
Yep.
And Connor O'Toole already on his back.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of his goals had looked like. That one was a hitch and go to the middle, but it shoots a lot with that underhand, left-handed shot on the run, and he's been scoring early in games. Scored 1 in Game 1, looking a lot like that. But you mentioned it, 18 goals in the first 2 games by the Mountaineers. Dudemain's got 8 of them.
Into the corner, here's Liam Matthews, who missed game number 2. Hard hit, pops the ball free, and Brigden Pitt is going to head off down the floor. Cuts the corner on Spallina on his wrong side, though, and shoots it into O'Toole.
Yeah, sharp start, obviously, from O'Toole. 2 nice saves. The one on Dudemain looked like it might have squeaked through. Slammed it shut, and now a good opportunity for Orangeville to play some offense.
To the outside to Trey Deer. Also back in the lineup, Aiden Long, who missed game number 2. From the outside, Bowie Horseman shooting over the top. And Nate Whittam gets his first touch.
Yeah, Bowie Horseman playing with some confidence after back-to-back hat tricks. Really had the TSN turning point in game 2 when he picked off a wayward pass and put it in the empty net.
Trying to find Finn Thompson cutting through the middle. Interesting that near the end of that game, as Justin Lee brings this one down and faces a double team, ball pops out of his stick, down into the corner, quick shot. And O'Toole's going to stand his ground. Dante Bowen will shift off Finn Thompson and on to Lucas Dudemain. We'll see if that opens up more shots for 17.
Yeah, I think that's a better matchup for Bowen, the right-handed player on the left-handed Dudemain, but we've seen him shift in other series to take on other matchups. So would expect Bowen to play a lot on Dudemain tonight. And then really, Matty, I thought as Matthews gets back.
Welcome back to the series. The sidearm on the run from Liam Matthews.
Yeah, Liam Matthews, one of the highest scorers in the playoffs and in the regular season. And his game is about shooting on the run over top and toe drags underneath. These shots set up his bread and butter, which is really smoking guys underneath and getting across. So to score on the setup part of it is really, really massive. The kid can just shoot the lights out. A really good start for Orangeville. Again, they have not trailed very much in the playoffs at all. They did a bit in Game 2, but these fast starts have been something we've seen all playoffs, especially here at Tony Rose.
Alex Roussel initially won that faceoff, but taken back by Orangeville. They'll throw it back across over center, and Justin Tavares will see what he can do.
Yeah, and here's that matchup of Bowen and Dudemain.
Dudemain brings him across the floor, away from Angus McDonnell, trying to go back to the crease where Thompson, who, by the way, has gone back to his orange Syracuse gloves. Actually looks like one of each.
He's got some orange wrist guards in there, I think.
Okay.
I think some new kicks on him tonight, though. Some new shoes. Looking pretty slick out there.
Well, trying whatever works to change the fate here in the series. Spallina from the outside. Regular season scoring champion. He'll go back to Trey Deer, who lowers the shoulder. Now tries to back away for the double team. no help. Cohen Jennings taken down in the crease.
Yeah, good no call on the reset there by the referees. I'm not sure what that hit because it did go to the corner, but I don't think it got through to the goalie. But still, you can see the bag of tricks that Deere has. Just a good job of working back to gain angle and then eventually opting for the behind the back.
Isaiah Moran-Weeks into the corner for Mark Waters, who brings it over the top, looking for help. Everybody covered. So now comes in through to Roussel. Moran-Weeks, I think, with the quick shot. Wants the Mimico faithful to get involved.
Yeah, Moran-Weeks had a really good playoffs. Been a little bit quiet so far in the final series through the first 2 games. Still been on the score sheet. A lot of his goals, look a lot like this. Most of them are closer to the net, but, not very many of them, Maddie, require him to be carrying the ball for a long time, right? A lot of work. A lot of his work is done off the ball, a catch and shoot release there. Again, at times they haven't had much success in the 5-hole, and at times it has been a little bit more successful for them. So they've kind of stuck with it. Those low to lows have actually gone for them, fairly consistently in the series.
Ciapera tried to kick that face off. Ended up going back to Dante Bowen, who has played almost the safety valve, I guess you could call it, back at the top of the fan, and it works to perfection there for Orangeville.
Yeah, if you watch Game 1, Angus McDonnell scored a goal at the end of the game off a face-off, so Orangeville's basically just eliminated that possibility. Bowen's going to play back there, and they're going to try to kick the ball back to him whenever they can.
Owen Ron has had a tremendous final series here. Picks up this ball, turns and fires, and just skipped it wide of the net. Allowing Hobbs to give to Tavares, and Justin Tavares, one of the reasons for that face-off defensive-minded shift.
Yep.
As he scored a couple times in the semifinal series off the draw. Justin Lee through the middle. Shot McDonnell, hits off the end boards, back to Thompson. Behind his back, Lee, quick
what
stick.
A save.
O'Toole picking up where he left off in
ridiculous.
Game number 2.
That is ridiculous.
Capped it by potting one, too.
My goodness.
Connor O'Toole have a series. Goodness gracious. Another look down at the bottom, going to his left. Are you kidding me?
Good matchup for Lee here, size-wise.
Justin Lee through the middle. I believe looking for Waters. Those were the 2 players I asked Tanner Thompson about in an extended conversation before the game. Asked if he was concerned that they weren't involved in the scoring as much as they were in the regular season, and he said, not really. It's just kind of testing their depth at the moment, and he's confident that they'll get going. Waters assisting on that first goal.
Yeah, Waters had a big Game 4 against Peterborough, the elimination game. He had 4 goals, all within about 5 minutes of each other. So he has the ability to really go off. As you mentioned, been a little bit more quiet here as Dudemain has not been quiet, and it continues.
Right on cue, Lucas Dudemain has Mimico the lead here 2-1 early.
And the story of the game, if you're a Mimico fan, Matt, you have to love just the energy, right? They've been dictating the pace here throughout the first few minutes. And Dudemain, this is a sign of a confident player. He gets around his man, and Mimico's shown the willingness to shoot in these unsettled scenarios all game long, all series long, all season long. And again, he wants to, even when he gets underneath his guy, he wants to get going back east-west across the floor to shoot on the run. And it's just been a really successful look for him in the series.
Mimico did have the lead a couple times in game number 2 at home, although they trailed most of the way in game number 1 here in this barn.
Yeah, they actually led by 2 at one point in
yes.
Game 2, which was the first time. Oh, boy.
Oh, look out. The official's door pops open. Cole Teeple didn't like the extra hit. That is Aiden Long, who, as we said, returns to the series tonight. No Sandersons, Dylan Orcams, Zach Poirier out of the lineup after playing in game number 2. Vincent Orfrio slotted in late, and Jake Spalina, the other player out, who was in game number 2.
Yeah, interesting. Finn Thompson taking this face-off, maybe feeling with Spalina out, they have a little bit more of an advantage at the face-off, or at least can try a few more things. We've seen this a little bit throughout the playoffs, but not much in this series.
Yeah, but Owen Ron's been really good throughout the playoffs for the Orangeville Northmen. Not sure that he took the first couple. As play is whistled in by Mark Thompson, it's him, Chris Williams, and John Vandergiesen, your 3 officials tonight.
Yeah, Finn won that one, just couldn't get it back to his defenders here as Tavares tries to press. Good job by that Orangeville ball team, earning themselves that extra possession.
Liam Matthews up to Trey Deer. Matthews, the goal scorer for the Northmen, tries to cut the corner, and we got action over on the far side, unless that's a crease call. I think there was a moving screen. Yeah,
and that's that toe drag look that I'm talking about from Matthews. He's just really slippery at getting underneath guys. Again, when you can score coming over the top like he did, it sets up all those underneath moves.
Thompson over the top sidearm, got the clean look. Except O'Toole was there, as he's been so many times already in the series.
Great loose ball by Dudeman in the corner as well.
Waters across to Lee. All 5 of this offense are 21-year-olds who would like to see their season continue.
Oh.
It will for at least one more game, but they'd like a little bit more than that. Dudeman, after Moran Weeks missed, to Thompson, to Waters. Under 5 to shoot, and he got knocked down, and then Bowen gave a little bit extra, and he's going to go. Looks like it's actually going to be Costigan, the pair of them, putting in work on the ground.
You know, Matty, there's parts of the game that O guys don't understand and D guys don't understand. As an O guy, I could never understand. D guys could not help themselves when someone goes to the ground. It is like the oldest thing in lacrosse. There have been so many penalties from a guy falls down, and the defenders can never, ever seem to help themselves. And it gets called all the time here. So first opportunity on the power play for Mimico.
So an illegal slash to Costigan. Thompson.
Wow, what a stick from Edwards there. That was that behind the net play we've seen a lot.
Roussel waiting back at the X.
Yeah, that's been really successful for Mimico. So a great stick by Edwards.
Finn's going to come and take top spot this time. Passing there with Dudeman, who goes through the middle to set the screen. Looks like this is all for Finn, who stumbled. Works back to the crease from Moran Weeks. And in the crease was the call for number 17, but that's a look that Mimico wants.
Yeah, it's a nice looking set there for Mimico, especially calling it on the fly because they had to reset it. And Moran Weeks is going to stay in the corner here on offense. So that's why we're playing 3-on-4 in the backcourt. I think this favors Orangeville. I think you're okay with having less players.
Lots of room here for a guy like Trey Deer, who is incredibly shifty. Working one-on-one, and stick got knocked out of somebody's hands. Cole Begley going to be the benefactor.
Yeah, you know, if you've never played in a series like this before, the animosity between players really starts to grow. And Taguri and Trey Deer, 2 of the best players, my favorite players to watch in the OJLL, having a pretty good battle so far in this one.
And neither one who's going to back down from that. Here's Dudeman again. Bouncer on the rebound right to Finn, who scores.
Yeah, the Mimico faithful love it here. The special teams was an issue for Mimico in Game 1 in this building. So really nice for if you're a Mimico fan to see that come the other way. They run this behind the net play again. Orangeville has to defend from the inside out, and then Dudeman shoots. Thompson there on the rebound. And if Finn Thompson's had an excellent series, in my opinion, especially feeding the ball, right? He has a lot of assists. He's second in playoff scoring, but not that many goals in the finals. So to get one like that, maybe an easy one, has got to feel really good for Finn.
6 assists in this building in game number 1.
Got to throw it here. Throw it.
Dropped down to just 3 points, although his goal-scoring output, no goals in game 1, 1 goal in game 2. Same record through the first 2 games of the Peterborough series. He erupted for 4 in game number 3.
Yeah, he can go off. And again, he's playing really well. Just because you're not scoring doesn't mean you're not playing well. But obviously, if you're Mimico, you'd like to see him find the back of the net.
Horseman takes the pick from Spalina. The return pass, jumping the route, was Justin Tavares, and he's got Aiden McDonnell with him. Going to go all by himself past Horseman, and the shot in on O'Toole.
Yeah, might have had a trailer there behind him with Moran Weeks. One of the issues hard to hear in here right now. It's capacity -1, Matty, as you said.
Deer came in hot and heavy, and Horseman was really close to the over and back line, and the extra shot from Deer is going to put the Northman man down again.
I was just thinking that, like, he's got to be careful here. Starting to toe the line, and the referee's obviously trying to set a tone. Not uncommon for a tighter tone to be set in the first period, obviously.
That right there was
just gonna be after the whistle. I think it's one more.
This was just interference, and then it's going to be this right here for dead ball foul. Dudemain, quick stick, Thompson. O'Toole comes back to the right now.
Oh, they always score these after the big saves. Broadcaster's jinx, I guess.
Well, no, Siapera does come down with it. Excuse me, that's Teeple. Yeah. I've done that twice in the series, and you know, I get to see his family every time I leave this building. They're not going to let me live it down pretty soon. Maybe,
you know, the natural thing when you're getting stuffed on those quick sticks is to try to maybe throw it back to the far side where it came from. But we saw O'Toole stuff Lee on that in game 2, right? So we've seen that, and he doesn't seem to be out of control when he's coming across the crease. He's not sliding, right? He's not getting on his knees or anything like that. So you just got to keep taking them if you can, and just trust that eventually they'll go in. And if he keeps robbing you, then he keeps robbing you. What can you do about it?
That's what Tanner said too. Wants his offense to just keep firing them on net because that's what's worked for them so far. They like to get to that 60-shot mark. One more on the table for Dudemain.
Numbers for Orangeville.
Cameron Pack to the far side. Ron got hit just as the ball was arriving.
Yeah, nice play by Finn Thompson there. That's you know what I was just saying. You can play well without scoring. That's an example of your best player doing the right things, maybe saving a goal.
Aaron Taguri through Alex Roussel.
This should be the last power play, or the last possession of this power play here.
I would bet everything I got this is not the last power play.
Yeah.
Thompson to Roussel, tried the quick stick. Roussel out in front. Moran Weeks can't pick it up.
Careful here.
Yeah, Teeple squeaking out. He's going to be in all alone. On Whittam, the shot. And the rebound, Willette Edwards scores.
It is loud in here. Good try by Lee, but you got to be so careful leaving your feet in these scenarios. Teeple gets a good look, huge save by Whittam, and then it's just going to bounce past Roussel and Edwards doing the look what I found. A huge short-handed goal, and the shorties have killed Mimico in these series. They gave up a couple against Peterborough, too.
Dean George told me before game number 2 that was a concern, especially when, you know, they hadn't scored well on the power plays. You can't not score on the power play and give up short-handed goals. He says if you're doing one or the other, you can probably give away one or two.
Well, the interesting thing is, you know, most of them haven't been, you know, most short-handed goals are scored off of missed shots that hit the glass and bounce way over top, or goalie passes, right? And that's not how they've been giving them up. They've been giving them up in like the half-court settled scenarios, in some kind of 2-on-3 scenarios, as Finn gets another good look.
We are 5-on-5 now.
So it's a hard problem to correct because it's not a hustle issue necessarily.
Roussel running away from the check of Cameron Pack. Only 10 left for Mimico here on the shot clock. Waters trying to find a cutting Angus McDonnell. It was off his stick.
Boy, you gotta like the Mimico offense so far, though. Everything getting funneled in towards the middle. That's where the goals are going to get scored in O'Toole. He's made some unbelievable saves. You just have to try to play through that. But they're not settling. Good energy, I think, right now from the Mimico offense.
Trey Dare to Joey Spallina. Fakes the shot. Tavares went with him. Now Hobbs comes to take his line away. Out here for Liam Matthews. He's one-on-one, backs into coverage. Shot and a good save there from Whittam. Aiden McDonnell takes down Matthews, and it's a slashing call. The first penalty to Orangeville.
Yeah, you knew this was coming, right? After the penalty goes to Deere, and the first one as well. You know, the tone has been set here. The precedent's been set. McDonnell just getting in one more extra whack. Plays a good shift of defense on Matthews, and then goes for one more whack. You know, I'm sure Mimico doesn't like the call, but not altogether surprising.
First Orangeville power play, excuse me.
Matthews back running the show as well. So strong lefty look that we didn't see much last game.
Working around the horn with Spallina. And now, as you said, up top to Matthews. Sneaking his way away from that top spot. That opens a shot to Spallina, who sends it wide and down floor.
Yeah, Spallina's been really incredible on the power play in the playoffs. So you got to watch for him. I think does his best work as a shooter on the power play, which I think why they're going with that strong lefty look. Let Spallina take a little bit fewer playmaking responsibilities and just shoot the ball.
Finn Thompson will back up. No sense of urgency. Trying to kill time off this penalty. Dudemain. 3 defenders come on him. He was trying to put that between his legs. Got it right into Costigan, who comes up towards center. Has to deal with Dudemain back on defense now. Dudemain going after Horseman and will now head off the floor as Vince comes on. Halfway through this power play. 3-2 Mimico lead. Spallina cross to Matthews down in the corner. Looking for Deer in front of the crease. He was all tied up.
Watch Deer stand in the middle, though. He gets open on these.
Only 5 to shoot. Jackman to the far side. Horseman off balance, but we've seen him score like that before. This time not on the mark.
Yeah, I think it was Begley that got the last second check in there on Horseman. He was trying to gain angle and shoot it back in the top right corner as Whittam slid across, but Begley gets the check in there, knocks him off the line. Good set for Mimico, and they can kill now most of the rest of this penalty with the full 30 seconds here.
I would take it down to about 7. Thompson checks the clocks and confirms my reporting. Him and Bowen one-on-one. Roussel getting worked over through the middle.
Roussel just taking a couple.
Moran Weeks circling around as well.
Gonna just
shot
throw
clock
this in at Roussel here.
down to 5.
What
they
a
put it to the corner to McDonnell. And then Mimico player run over, and that'll reset the clock and let them kill off the rest of it.
That was.
We were all looking at Roussel, and somehow McDonnell entered the chat.
Finn seems like he's got the mojo going tonight, doesn't he? Just really good energy. He's been around in the net a lot. Obviously has the 1 goal.
Dudemain in towards the corner. Back up top for Thompson. He'll feed it back to a cutting McDonnell again. And, didn't save the over and back.
Really good set, though. That's a great look for McDonnell. Again, you got to like the way you're playing offensively for Mimico.
There's Trey Deer. Thought he was going to Cohen Jennings coming off the bench, but Alexa finds Spallina, who briefly lost his footing. Over the top, Matthews got drilled, and then while falling, went hard into McDonald. And keep your eye on Matthews, who's down on the floor.
Yeah, Britton Pitt's going to go here. Little conversation going behind the play here. So the penalties will be evened up at 2-2. We'll see what Orangeville has on the power play. Owen Ron coming out for the shift. I think Bowie Horseman's maybe getting an equipment fix right now.
Yeah, getting dressed in a hurry.
Getting something done on the back of the bench there.
So perhaps a chance for Onofrio down in the corner. Again, wasn't in the starting lineup, just a late change after another Northman couldn't go. Spallina from the outside, and it just speaks to the depth of this lineup.
Yeah, he's been ready when called upon.
Deer feeding it back, looking for Jackman, who postures up on his man. That's a good play to leave it for Deer, who finds Matthews. Spallina late in the shot clock, rings it off the pipe. Boy, how many times this season have we called Spallina from Matthews and Deer?
And by the way, it is loud in here. It feels like an NLL venue in here that seats a lot more people than we do in here. But wherever you can get an angle to watch the game, there's people there tonight.
Matthews, Spallina, hard rip, doesn't miss second time.
just like I was saying, he really is a dynamic shooter on the power play. That's where he does his best work. Likes the short side hip a lot, likes just to hit it off the bottom right corner. And this is just old school, jam it at the feet. Doesn't always have to be pretty, right? It's not top corner, it's not bar down or anything like that, but jam it at the feet. And all of a sudden, if you're Mimico, you feel like you played really well, and it's now a tie game.
Yeah, we've said that. I don't know how many times this series, but it just
all playoffs, right? It's just I think because O'Toole has played so well, it's just a really hard team to get a run on. So your runs are always going to be, pretty short, pretty small, and then they obviously Orangeville is pretty good offensively.
4 minutes left here in the period, all knotted at threes. Justin Lee to Dudemain, who backs away from pressure. Pair that with the fact that, as we talked about in game number 1, there's not a lot of mistakes to be had on the side of Orangeville as this one gets blocked and back over. Will not be an over and back, but the shot clock's winding down on Finn Thompson.
Yeah, and obviously you got to try to stay out of the box, right? That goes without saying. If you're Mimico coming from an underdog perspective, the penalties are not going to do anything to help you.
Trey Deer gets the pass from Matthews. Horseman is back out there for this shift, by the way. Whittam hangs on to that outside shot.
Yeah, it's a big save. We've seen Deer score those a lot when he wraps his stick around the defender. Seems to be a tough one for goalies. What a play by Deer there, causing the turnover. Just standing at the line, testing Thompson there. And brief numbers here. Jackman's got a good look.
Brian Jackman going to walk in himself. Deer over the shoulder. Oh, Whittam's still looking for it, but he made the catch.
Yeah, what a sequence there. Great save by Whittam, but that's what makes Trey Deer so great. It's not just the goals and the assists. It's the loose balls in front of the net and the forecheck to create the turnover. And all of a sudden, again, momentum's a fickle thing here. It feels like momentum going left to right here on your TV screen.
Horseman in the corner for Ron. He gave to Onofrio, and now it's back in the stick of Spallina, who feeds it in through the middle, and Onofrio by himself, and that's a heck of a save back on Mimico's side.
Yeah, great save by Whittam. Mimico needs to clear this, get their O guys on, and play a shift of regular offense here. Just settle this thing down. Mimico has to get out of this period, in decent shape. They can't let up here in the last 2 minutes.
Eden McDonnell gives to Waters. His shot missed the mark. Now 10 to shoot for Alex Roussel. He goes top spot. The C's part, and O'Toole able to see it and make the stop.
Yeah, it's two pretty good looks there. I think Waters had a decent look at it. Roussel has scored on that pretty much exact play in this series.
Inside the 2-minute warning, all tied up at 3. Here in the first period of game number 3 of this best of 7 OJLL final series.
Cross pick for Trey Deer here. That's well defended by Mimico.
Here in the middle is Jackman from the outside with the ball. He wants to go himself. Twister scores.
I mentioned Lucas Dudemain likes to do his work east to west, left to right. Jackman's the opposite. He likes to get going right downhill. He likes to go right at the goal, get his head and shoulders going towards the goal. Gets underneath this guy here, goes with the twister finish. And he's been spectacular for Orangeville since coming over in that trade deadline trade.
And just like that, the 2-goal lead evaporates from the Mountaineers, and they are down by 1. The Northmen doing their thing here in Tony Rose.
Yeah, big minute 40 here.
I know we're in the first period. The next goal feels like a big one.
Yeah, it sure does.
Already, Aiden McDonnell controls the face-off. He'll pass it back to Vincent, who gives to Tavares, and off the bench is Thompson.
This is a good look for Finn here on Barnett. Just a good size advantage. I'd look to go.
See if he waits it out. Far side, Moran Weeks into the corner. Comes all the way back across to the captain. Low shot trickles in.
A great sign for Mimico fans to see 17 scoring. I mentioned I thought he had a pretty good matchup here. You know, this is pretty good defense. A good last-second pick by Waters, and then Thompson's going to squeeze it through the 5-hole. .44 now at a massive minute 10. Both teams at this point would probably feel okay getting out with a tie. But you can't have any let-ups here. Not all possessions created equal.
Another huge face-off here in this first period. Aiden Long controlling it.
Yeah, Long is just an impactful player. He just contributes to winning, in my opinion, at a very high level.
Matthews up top for Ron. Spallina.
Cross pick here coming from somebody. Matthews on his own.
Matthews to the outside, waited for the screen before shooting, and Whittam made the catch with 39 seconds left in the period.
Pretty crafty little play there. Rand Weeks got somebody wide open on this side of the floor.
He got dumped in the timeout signal from Rusty Kruger. They weren't happy, thought it should have been an 8 count. But the first period timeout here goes the way of the Orangeville Northmen.
Yeah, if we're talking adjustments at the period break, you got to try to pass your way out of some of these breaks by Mimico. You're kind of running yourself into problems. Have outlets, move the ball up the floor quickly, and really having the outlets, like I said, is the key. You don't really want to run your way through these double teams. It's the forecheck, I think, has really been an important part of this game here. All right, this is the last one. Notice the pick right there by Waters. Doesn't do a lot, but just gets Barnett off him enough to get his hands free.
One that perhaps O'Toole wants back. This is game number 3 of this best-of-7 series. Game 4 shifts back to Mimico on Tuesday night, August the 6th. We told you about the atmosphere in game number 2. It was electric there. Keep saying it through these finals. If you have any possible chance of getting to an arena in person, that is the way to experience Junior A lacrosse in this province. But if not, we got you covered. 8 p.m. start right here on the OJLL YouTube channel.
Yeah, I think it's coming through on the broadcast tonight. You can see the folks in both end zones, right? Just the sheer number of people behind the net. But, you know, I've been lucky to play in Orangeville through an Ontario finals, and this is as many people as I can remember seeing in this building.
Not from the guy who said he didn't notice the heat in this building, so not sure how well we can take your opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. Got a Minto MVP to his name, so he's got to know something. Here's Trey Deer from the outside, 10 left in the period. Here comes the play over to Horseman. In the corner, Spallina. Looking, crease. In the crease for Deer with 2 seconds left.
2 seconds left. They can shoot this.
Mimico not very quick getting to the ball. Begley just going to bomb it down, and if they got a restart, they could have pulled a Connor O'Toole, but not to be as the first period ends tied 4.
Yeah, good-looking set piece there. I was thinking as they were going, the action was all for Matthews, and I was just looking at Deer thinking he's going to slip one of these and find himself open. I think Whittam made the save regardless, but they called the crease call, and we get out 4-4. I mentioned on Twitter, as the kids say, this series has aura.
Look at you.
Another good 20 minutes here.
Second period comes your way in 9.5 minutes. We'll take the break. The OJLL finals are fueled by Gatorade.
Get ready, Ottawa. Box Lacrosse is returning to its Canadian roots and giving the nation's capital the team they deserve.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let
Hydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
Back live at Tony Rose Arena where the score is 4-4 And this is how we got there, starting with Liam Matthews making his return to the series in a big way, but then Mimico jumped out to a lead.
Yeah, Matthews gets the first one, and then this is Moran Weeks finding the back of the net on a catch and release here. Dudemain, he got the scoring going on this one. This was the first goal for Mimico. Again, just kind of a patented play for him at this point. Another good celly as well. This is a nice power play one. Going to go Roussel looking inside to Moran Weeks, covered up. Dudemain gets the shot. Thompson's there for the alley-oop dunk. And then the power play goal for Orangeville. So he goes over to Spalina, and he's just going to spike this into the marble. Good celly by him, too. Then this is the last one for Orangeville. Jackman getting downhill. Goes for that twister. Had a lot of success on both those moves, speaking of good cellies. And then the last one to tie it up. Really a massive goal, Maddie. I think a great call by you when it got to 4-3 that the next goal felt really big, and Thompson gets one to go through. You know, I think we both hesitated to say maybe that O'Toole wanted that back because it seems so unfair to say that after someone's been on such a heater. But I think that's the first time we've actually thought that in the playoffs. Like that's probably the first goal that he legitimately wants back. So if you're Mimico, you feel like you finally caught a break, and if you're if you're O'Toole, you're saying, all right, obviously you want to get back at it here in the second period.
It was 3-1 for Mimico. Thought they were sitting pretty before the comeback. 3 straight for Orangeville, and then, as we said, that tying one. 4-4 looks a lot better than 5-3 coming out of the room if that had gone back the other way.
Yeah, I remember playing in some of these games and just thinking, I know it's going to be decided in the third period. Like, just get me. It's almost like you kind of black out for the first 40 minutes because in the third, that's when
that doesn't sound good, but continue.
mentally. And I think this game is probably going to be like that. The idea that we're going to see a blowout by the third period, I think, is probably unlikely. It's probably going to come down to those money moments here. So, do you want to conserve energy? No. But, you want to be smart. You want to mitigate mistakes. You certainly want to be sharp in defensive transition, not let anything get easy here. And I would expect a pretty tight second and then a pretty aggressive third would be my guess.
Well, we say it every time we're in this building that it is an aggressive transition from especially the Orangeville Northmen, with that front door being as close as it is to Nate Whittam as we saw him get set for the period. You look at the packed house here tonight, as we said in game number 2. If the fire marshal's watching, there is capacity -1 in here tonight. And if he's not watching, it is most of Orangeville.
Like I said, wherever you can get a view from, there's folks getting eyes on this game. So and obviously very grateful to everyone joining us on YouTube as well. We really appreciate you letting us be a part of your summer routine.
Want to quickly say thank you to everybody who's reached out either on social media, on direct message, whether it's been text. We've got a lot of those letting us know that you've appreciated our work. We appreciate you all watching as well, and letting us know your thoughts as we've gone through this season. I've been meaning to say that for a couple games.
Sure.
So sneak it in as Jane Ciapera tries to bring down that face-off.
This is still on Orangeville shot clock. They're not going to give him a reset.
Elijah Edwards down the boards. Just Spalina, it was a long way from home.
They got to shoot this.
Teeple off the shoulder.
And Mimico will look to run as well. We did say that Orangeville gets those guys coming off the gate. Mimico's lefties, guys like Tavares and McDonnell, when they're on this close side on the broadcast, they're going to look to fly and try to score.
Waters slipped his man and got a good chance away, but
boy, I don't know if that's a play call from the bench, but they scored twice on that in game 2, and they just will try to run their guy into the middle of the floor and then turn around and the ball's waiting for them. Waters couldn't connect the dots, but that's been one of the most successful kind of strategies for Mimico so far.
Matthews to the outside. Dangerous here. Looked like he wanted to go to Deer. Took the shot himself. Then Deer does the same after grabbing the rebound. Whittam was there to stop both. Someone yelled, "Get off the floor." It sounded like Dean George. Wanted to get a little bit of pressure out of his Mimico boys.
Yeah, I think worried about that press too. Get off the floor, get the ball up and out, stretch that defense.
Look out, ball pops out of the stick there of Finley Thompson. It's Nate Ruff who brings it back down, and arm on the line from Whittam. Another one that sneaks through a goaltender, but this one doesn't get the home bounce in the crease.
Heck of a play by Ruff, though, regardless.
Finalist for Transition Player of the Year last year. How about a save at one end and Mark Waters at the other?
Man, we've called so many games this summer. I feel like I'm just repeating myself every game now. But as we watch the Thompson getting back, a great play by Ruff. If there's a prettier shot in lacrosse than the bouncer to the top corner, I haven't found it yet, and you're going to see Waters. We got a great view of this. Bounce it, cheese. Where you keep the cookies, whatever analogy you want to use, right in that top corner. It's a pretty looking shot. I'm glad our viewers got a really good angle on that one.
2 minutes into the period, it's another lead for the Mountaineers. Again, in danger of going down 3-0 with a loss here tonight. Going to want to go back to Mimico with a game, at least in the win column. Bouncer here into the stick of Owen Ron.
Couple guys stuck here. Roussell's stuck.
Jackman, bouncer. How'd that stay out? Looked like it got behind Whittam, and then the English carried it into the corner. Over the top, Spalina. Taguri not going to let him shoot. It goes back to Jackman. He's one-on-one with McDonnell. Jennings trying to open space from the outside. That one hit the end boards and will go the length of the floor.
Boy, Jackman's got it working tonight, though. Just feels dangerous every time he touches it. Obviously scored the one, and he's felt really dangerous on a lot of his other looks. Can you make a run that's more than a goal or two? That's the thing we haven't really seen yet. Saw a little bit in the third period last night. Dudemayne's shot saved. Watch Deer coming off the door.
Someone's lost something.
Is.
Here is Deer. Faked over the shoulder. Traditional scores. Honk them horns.
Again, when you play against Orangeville, those lefties can get off the gate in a hurry. Great hustle by Ruff there. See him flying off. That lets Deer get out the front door. And then he's going to go pump fake behind the back and then rip it to the far side. You can see Whittam. He does a good job of not falling for the fake, but then he's kind of frozen when the ball comes out with such pace.
And that's why this period is so dangerous out that front door. Deer or Matthews, take your pick. It's
no doubt.
Usually going to be one of those two. And this time it's Trey Deer who reties the game at 5. Ben McIsaac in for this draw. Against Sean Costigan. So two guys we haven't seen yet. It's Costigan who wins it straight to the rack. And it bounces wide and up out of play.
Wow, they're going to say that went off Whittam. Didn't see much of a deflection from our angle. Regardless, we Northmen ball. Good battle of Q's on Q's there with Vincent on Spalina.
He goes far side to Matthews. Rebound straight to Horseman. Getting Cornell involved.
Hey, you took us there, Matty, not me for once.
Lost it to Ron. Just trying to beat you to the punch, my man. Matthews around the corner. Back up to Horseman. This one bounces away. Got word that was the absence for Aiden Long, by the way, in game number 2. He was down at Cornell getting ready for hockey season.
Nice. Beautiful place to be this time of year.
I am otherwise tied up for the next about week or so, but I appreciate the invitation. Dudemayne, Roussel. Working it back to Thompson in the corner. Weird spot for him. but he'll send it all the way across. Moran Weeks. The cutter was Dudemain. He got past Bowen, which was an achievement unlocked in itself. Unable
Bowen
to
missing the
score
glove now. Turn around.
Dudemain all alone, pass a little bit late getting there. Tried to force the over the shoulder, and now the race is on for the loose ball. Finley Thompson beats out Graydon Stokes.
Yeah, Bowen lost a glove, and Dudemain almost made him pay for it.
Under 10 to shoot, though. Moran Weeks back with it. Roussel, long-range bouncer off the knee of O'Toole.
Wow, another nice save by O'Toole there. A good set for him. When Dudemain hunting that left corner, seems like there's more room there, but guys haven't been able to find it.
Here's Spalina directing traffic. Looked like he wanted Horseman to come across. Goes behind the net to Deere, who walks out one-handed. Shoots past the screen. And a couple players down. I don't even want to say it yet.
I don't know, Matty, how I missed the memo, but everyone now seems to be able to rip it with one-handed, and I can't. And like guys like Deere and Connor Fields, like I don't understand how they get so much power on the shots, but it's a really dangerous look for him.
My shot was bad enough with two hands, so.
Mine's not going very fast with two either.
Here's Waters. That one caught by O'Toole.
Right between the legs.
Yeah, not exactly where he wanted to catch it, but
yeah.
They don't ask how, they ask how many.
Yeah.
Here's Spalina.
Oh, it's a nice save by Whittam.
Usually has two hands on his stick, just can't decide if he wants it to be righty or lefty.
Yeah.
As Whittam makes the save, they argue over the rebound, and it'll go the way of Mimico.
Tavares got Hobbs with the floor.
Mimico did not get the quick restart there. Hobbs looks like he's going to stay on, however. Now he's headed for the bench as Angus McDonnell gives to Dudemain. Justin Lee, the extra man. It's spin over the top. Back to Dudemain, one-on-one. He cuts the corner to the cage. And they called Dudemain through the crease after the O'Toole save.
Man, what a battle between those two, between Bowen and Dudemain.
Fun to watch.
Yeah. I think the thing that Dudemain's doing really well is he's not hesitating, right? He's going as hard and as fast as he can. Playing against a great athlete like Bowen, hesitation's going to kill you.
Matthews from the outside. His low shot caught by Whittam, and no rebound for Trey Deere, who was right on the crease.
Yeah, and guys flying up the floors. You got to be careful if you're Orangeville. Mimico wants to send guys here, not just one, but 2, 3, 4 guys.
Aiden McDonnell will leave for Moran Weeks. He's got Cameron Pack in front of him. Played 7 minutes here this period, and goal is hard to come by, just one per side. Moran Weeks, and look out. High hit there. Stokes is going to, is that Tavares? No, it's McDonnell in through the
Angus
middle.
McDonnell.
Got a piece of Siapera, who is up. Initial penalty was coming to Orangeville. We'll see if there's anything else as a result. Here it is on your screen.
I think
yeah, just he was slipping, and McDonnell went for the hit.
I got to think that's going to even up with Stokes jumping in there, unless they're going to give Mimico 2 penalties.
Well, the officials will talk, and
yeah, we'll see.
Said this in game number 1. This is, with MSL happening right now, Junior B finals are happening, OSL finals are happening. The festival is on.
Sure.
It's a small pool of officials who are basically all kind of cycling through all the games. So they're working just as hard, if not more, than we are.
Yeah.
And these players, and we got to tip our hat to everybody who's a level 5 or better in the OLA at this time of the year.
Absolutely. It looks like we're going to have 4-on-4, 5-on-5.
Yeah.
So I think,
should be 5-on-5 if we're all even. Andrew Suter doesn't like it.
Yeah, Stokes just evening it out. So they'll sit for minimum of 2.
These have turned into 7 very quickly, as got to wait for a dead ball for them to come out now.
Yeah, the way this game's going, you never know.
Finn Thompson finds the post and heads up in the timekeeper's box. That's where that one was headed.
He found all of the post. That thing went off the top post and went out of bounds across half mid-floor.
Roussel to Waters.
A lot of room for Waters here. ISO.
Corner. In through the middle. His shot got stuffed. Could have been Teeple as Moran Weeks picks up and moving screen in behind. Lee took care of Pack just as Moran Weeks was about to rip.
Wow. I think that's probably a fortunate call for Orangeville there. Moran Weeks right on top of the goal.
So roughing and high sticking the two offsetting minors to get caught up in the penalty situation. We are 5-on-5. The Trey Deer working out of the corner. Tavares lost the stick. He gets it returned to him by Billings.
Look out, Tavares is going here.
And there's a player down behind the play. It's Trey Deer who got knocked down, and they'll take the ball away from Mimico.
Too many of those for Mimico. Too many shots behind the play. You got to find a way to, frankly, just stop doing that because not sure how that pass was, but Tavares was off to the races.
Combination of two players taking Deer down. A little stumble there from Matthews. He's going to be picked off by Vincent, and he's got help with him. It's Kerrigan coming through the back door, tries to bounce it through O'Toole, who makes the stop.
Got to watch reverse now, going the other way.
Costigan, watch the front door. It's Trey Deer already on the floor. They're holding back Cohen Jennings.
Boy, what a save by O'Toole. He's been so money in those situations.
Deer out from the corner. He was on Tavares. Now Ron lowered his shoulder. 5 to shoot as he comes over the top. Finds a man in front. Might have been an Orfrio as it's now picked off by Tavares. Justin Tavares to Thompson. Hard rip and caught by O'Toole.
Well, you saw the jersey kind of flicker there for O'Toole. Thought maybe it was getting around him, but another good save. That's a good look for Mimico, and most importantly, that's the way they want to play. Tavares picks it up. They fly up the floor. Thompson gets a good look.
To the outside, Deer. It's Jennings trying to make space for him. Deer shoots over the top, and that one hits the window and will bounce out over center. Races on. Hobbs trying to get there. We'll get the quick restart, but Horseman already back.
Boy, Hobbs plays with great energy, just always hustling, always getting up the floor. Really one of the key players to that transition style.
It's Dudemain now. Come off back-to-back 4-goal performances, just one here. As he puts it to the outside. Justin Lee's bouncer finds its way in.
Tough one for the Northmen because this was 15 to 20 seconds of really good defense by Aiden Long on Dudemain. I thought Moran Weeks had a really good pick angle. This should be good for Mimico. Long just fights through it, so that's advantage Northmen. And then Lee just goes down the alley, and those reaching shots down the alley is where his height really helps him, because when he sticks out his stick, he can get a lot further than most guys. The old expression, let your stick have eyes. Well, Justin Lee's eyes, and that analogy, can see a lot further, and it helps him on that one.
We got the battle of the air horns and the cowbells here tonight as Mimico have brought their noisemakers and their fans off to our right.
Yeah, another good Lucy by Hobbs, by the way, a guy who I just think does makes a lot of winning plays.
Halfway through the period, Mimico leads 6-5 in game number 3 of this best-of-7 series. Dante Bowen bringing down the loose ball. He'll send it near center for Ciapera, and you can see him looking to the front door. Liam Matthews was out, but covered.
Yeah, good read by Aiden Bactonell back there, just shading towards Matthews, knowing that someone could probably catch up to Ciapera.
This is Matthews. Stopped by Bryden Pitt, as we got our pronunciation corrected. Spalina from the corner, 5 to shoot, wheels over the top and gets it, and did not hit Whittam before going up out of play.
Good shift from Jordan Vincent there. Thought Spalina burned him, just stayed in the fight, got back there. Orangeville bench yelling for they thought it went off the goalie. From our angle, it looked like it was a clean miss.
Pitt lost his stick there too. Said that Dudemain only had 1 goal. How about 4 points to go along with it? For 5 on the night out of the 6 goals that Mimico have scored. This shot bounces over and back.
That's been most of the story of Mimico this season, right? They're not typically a team where, you know, some teams you can log on to the website every day and you know who's going to lead the team in scoring. You're just not sure how many they had. Mimico, it's really been a balanced anyone could do it on any given night. So not altogether surprising to see that continue here. Look out here. Tavares could score on these.
Justin Tavares goes back to Thompson. Tried his best trade deer impression, but it bounced wide. Pack, meanwhile, in behind everybody. And Whittam there to make the stop. Colm Barnett with a rebound in the crease. End-to-end action here in the transition period.
Yeah, Nate Whittam, Connor O'Toole take a bow.
Whittam was pulled in game number 1, but ever since then, I mean, he is
he's been sharp.
Nearly matched, save for save. Connor O'Toole, as much as we've talked up the game of the former Brampton netminder. Here's Moran Weeks' shot. He got filled in and the arms high again, costing it on Weeks.
That could have easily been another one here.
Yeah, Bowen to Dudemain. They go down to the crease. Roussel faked high, went low, and Mimico's going back to the power play.
Here's the look. Thompson fake, goes for it. I think he hit the crossbar again, so he's found that crossbar, and then Pack comes flying off the bench. And then almost another rebound goal. Then this is a nice move by Moran Weeks, so you're going to see him get, oh boy, he took it from both angles there. Bit of a tabletop.
So 1 for 2 tonight on the power play was Mimico. This will be their third opportunity. Have given up a shorthanded goal as well. Orangeville also 1 for 2.
Yeah, and you got to get to the gate on the shorthanded scenarios. That's one where you can really gain some space. So got to be mindful of transition here, but another big opportunity for Mimico to go up too.
Closing in on 8 minutes to go here in the second period. Mimico had it as high as 2 in that first period, but Orangeville able to come back and retake the lead. Dudemain. Far side for Lee, no shot. Thompson up top, same story. He'll circle around the screen. They go behind the net. Roussel out to Dudemain. He does take that low shot. O'Toole
there's Aiden Long.
catches it and looks down floor. Just missed the transition specialist. Whoa, look out though.
Oh boy.
Heard few anxious fans say much the same off to our right, but it does stay in front of Whittam.
Roussel the shooter here, so look for Lee to get involved somehow.
It's a double screen in front of Thompson, who scores straight down the pipe. Hat trick for Finn.
Yeah, good coaching here by Tanner and Dean George. I think they put Lee in the low spot, knowing that they wanted that player to set a pick because he's bigger and can set a better seal. So you're going to see Lee come up and Moran Weeks come up. It's going to be Dudemain himself. They're two biggest guys setting the seals. And Thompson, he's hunted that low to top left a couple times, hit the pipe. This time goes overhand to the bottom left. Again, a deeper bag of tricks than most guys when it comes to shooting here. Now 3 goals for Finn Thompson. You basically called that to start the game.
I didn't call it. Tanner told me that Finn was going to have a big night, and I just said, well, when it happens, I will definitely give you credit. So now's the time for the mayor of Mimico to receive his due. And the reason he thought so was with Bowen switching over to the other side. He told Finn to look for more opportunities.
Sure. With
Bowen paying attention now to Dudemain. Here's Spallina trying to answer. And Whittam with another stop. I don't know how he saw that one.
Massive moment in this game. Mimico's been able to get to 2 in game 2. Haven't been able to push past the 2-goal lead, nor has anyone else in the playoffs. As Spallina's stuck here, so whoever's coming out for Mimico has got to go at him.
Lee facing Teeple, and Pack had it bump out of his stick. Back for Waters. Quick shot, and O'Toole stands his ground again.
Heck of a save here as Spallina goes back and plays offense, so now Roussel is stuck. So, yeah, Kerrigan's going to switch off, but number 3, Roussel for Mimico, stuck on defense.
Here's Spallina, far side. Matthews comes all the way back across to Bowie Horseman. He can score on the run over the top, but he'll give to Matthews, who tries the same thing. Long way from home, 5 to shoot. Spallina rips wide.
Yeah, credit to Alex Roussel there. It's not going to show up in the box score. He's exhausted right now. But when O guys get stuck back there, you got to bear down and try to get a stop.
Let's not forget as we consider this Mimico lead.
Dudemain calling for it, by the way. I think he's seeing he doesn't have Bowen here.
Took it down to the crease and then passed back up to Angus McDonnell. Justin Lee had the rebound fall right at his feet. Then Bowen couldn't pick up, but Aiden Long does, and Elijah Edwards. He's about to say Mimico has been a better third period team throughout this playoff. So
Justin Lee's stuck here, by the way. So more O guys getting stuck.
And Angus McDonnell has gone back and forth.
Yeah, good matchup for Jackman going at Lee. Oh, bad luck.
Slips on the far side, though. Gets up with 5 to shoot. And Taguri in his face. Now Taguri slips. I think there might be a slick spot out there that we might have to take care of. Haven't had a wipe down yet. Angus McDonnell spins and fires. Now look out, big hit there as Ruff brought it down, but 2 of his teammates are out, including Owen Ron. Teeple look to the bench, nobody home.
Great loose ball by Ciapera there to get out of trouble and throw a lob pass to Teeple.
Coming off the bench, Matthews, stutter steps. Didn't quite work around the screen from Deere. Spallina here brings it into the corner, under 10 for him to shoot now. Trying to find the cutting Cohen Jennings, who has gone through the crease. Ron will pick up, and no time to shoot. Back-to-back shot clock violations.
Yeah, great play there by McDonald for Mimico, just getting his long stick in there and disrupting that look into Jennings. Jennings, a guy we haven't called a lot tonight, but a very talented player. He's capable inside.
Justin Lee up top. Roussel finds him.
This is going to be a set piece for Finn Thompson at the end.
Back to
number 3.
number
the up
3.
pick, and he's open.
Yeah, it does go to him in the middle. The blind over-the-shoulder shot did catch O'Toole. They reset the clock. What about the look from Moran Weeks and the save from O'Toole?
Yeah, Moran Weeks so good at those quick sticks, and O'Toole's been bailing him out here just a little bit.
Took it from, I don't know, about 1.5 feet off the floor that time, did Moran Weeks.
Yep.
But
scary feeling, by the way, leaving your feet in the middle of a defense.
Spallina to the cutting Deere, and caught by Whittam.
Yeah, great save by Whittam.
That play has gone in more often than it's not here in this building. Whittam's saves not as flashy as O'Toole's, but I mean, he definitely deserves credit in this series as well. Roussel
A lot of space over here for Dudemain.
Couldn't quite make it all the way out of the corner.
He's going to keep
Mimico
going.
see
Why
the
not?
same. He's going to go one-on-one. Edwards tried to push him out wide, and it's in the stick of Teeple. On the run. Teeple looking quick stick, and did Whittam save that?
I think Aaron Taguri saved a goal there.
No reset.
Yeah, I think Taguri got his stick in there, and he for sure saved a goal. That was going in if it got through.
That is a great
short
play.
Short clock now, so Orange was going to have to shoot it. Sorry, Matty.
Well, it is going to run out here on Orangeville, and as you said, great play from Taguri. Of course, his older brother played here. I think everybody on Mimico had an older brother that played back in the day, but
not only did older brother play in Mimico, I don't think he's missed a Mimico game this year. Certainly not in the playoffs.
and his father can cook.
Yeah.
Here comes Waters, shoots towards that right knee.
Mimico finding something with their Waters and Dudemain starting up in the high alley and just really trying to go hard downhill at the Orangeville defenders. The question is, can you score enough of those shots down the alley on O'Toole?
Looked like Jackman might have beat Cole Begley. He's got to deal with Vincent now. Onto the crease, the shot into the feet of Whittam. It went sky high, still bouncing. And Whittam finds it, under 2 to play. Mimico's got both timeouts. Rusty Kruger took one in the first period, and he's hot at his offense right now. Went over and
another pretty good look. Another decent look there for Jackman. He's been really aggressive and I think really good tonight.
Thompson finds Lee. He takes a big chop. Dudemain puts it behind the net. Thompson elects not to go to Moran Weeks. Shovels it backhand. And that one off. O'Toole still bouncing around. Long didn't pick up. and got run over though.
Yeah,
Judemain didn't like the call.
Mimico faithful didn't like that one at all. Got to play through it. Minute and 11 here. Probably want to use most of the 30 if you're Orangeville.
Spallina disagrees as that shot goes off the end boards. He'll peek now, and we are in the final minute. 20 to shoot. Spallina on Begley. Now Vincent comes over. Ball in the stick of Matthews. William Matthews working one-on-one here with Aiden McDonnell. Now coming in to help out is Taguri. Tried to get it back to Spallina, and it bounces wide. But with 37 seconds left to go, I don't think Dean George wants to call timeout.
You're not going to get a 2-for-1 here. You're going to be 5-on-5 regardless. What a play, though, by Aaron Taguri. That's just help defense. That's unselfish team defense. McDonnell did a pretty good job on Matthews, and then Taguri comes over and blows it up.
And that's twice in the last couple minutes that we've called Aaron Taguri's name in a big spot. Dean George going to keep Nate Whittam in the net here. Thompson slow. Just past the face-off restraining line. Over to Waters. Waters working his way through shot. Rebound, Moran Weeks in the crease.
Moran Weeks got smoked at the end of that.
Yeah,
Orangeville's not going to take a timeout here.
He's had a rough night. Moran Weeks a little too close. Was standing there feeling sorry for himself. They want this restart back in the corner, I think is the call.
Yeah, but a second or two ran off the clock here. I'm a little bit surprised that Orangeville's not pulling O'Toole in this scenario. They have time now to run him off. But they're going to keep it at 5-on-5 as well.
Bowen to Horseman. Bowen's going to stay on. Horseman around into the corner. That shot doesn't get through. Ron will pick it up, getting forced out towards his bench, and gives a two-hander to Taguri at the tail end of the horn.
Yeah, and Taguri just eats it. That's what you need to do at this level.
And let me credit Taguri here. I've been watching him come up through minor. A few years ago, he would not have turned the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's a very, very good period for Mimico. And not too many other ways to say it. This is just incredible lacrosse, and
it's been great.
And I'm just grateful that we're here to see it, and I'm grateful everyone on YouTube can see it as well.
All two games have been great. 2 periods here as well. Why is the third going to be any different? You'll want to come back in 9.5 minutes for game number 3 of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Finals, fueled by Gatorade. We'll take the timeout.
Get ready, Ottawa. Box Lacrosse is returning to its Canadian roots and giving the nation's capital the team they deserve.
Gatorade. With electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat, carbs to help fuel your working muscles, and fluids to help you hydrate. Scientifically formulated so you never stop competing.
Let's go, raise up one time, go get it, it's yours, let's shine, come on.
Rehydrate, replenish, refuel. Gatorade.
Getting set for the third period here at Tony Rose Arena. Mimico up 7-5. They did so with a 3-1 second period, Donnie.
Yeah, that's a pure looking bouncer from Mark Waters, telling the crowd, let me hear ya. Then Orangeville gets it right back. This is Deer coming off the gate, something we've said a lot this year. Notice the fake behind the back and then pumps it, freezes Whittam in the process. Game's, a big moment after that. Mimico ends up scoring two. First one is going to be Lee on the reach, again using that big 6'4", 6'5" frame. And then the last one is Thompson on the power play. After hitting the crossbar a couple times, he says, all right, I'm going down to the ground. Very difficult shot. I played with a guy holding Garland who calls those a 50-goal shot, because if you can hit those, you score 50 goals. and those shots from the top of the power play to the bottom corners, pretty much impossible to stop.
Back-to-back scoring champion in the OJLL, Finn Thompson, until this year when Joey Spallina passed him and all others. Liam Matthews finishing in second. Not very often the Northmen get outscored in period number 2 in this building, but Mimico trying to stave off, going down 3-0, headed back for home. Did so there, 7-5 they lead after 2, and this has been their period throughout the playoffs.
Good loose ball by Hobbs there. Just want to continue to highlight. Feel like he's doing good work.
Here's Dudemain. He'll pass it to Thompson, who has a hat trick already in this game, despite scoring just once through the first 2. Meanwhile, Dudemain sitting on 6 points. Only one of them's goals. He had 8 through the first 2 games.
Boy, how many one-on-one saves has O'Toole made, though? Even though they've scored 7, feels like they could have had several more than that.
Have yet to get into double digits in the series. Have only managed 9 in the first 2 games. Here's Trey Deer walking through in the crease. Shot it over the net anyways.
Yeah, that was all about the seal from Jackman, though. Sealing his own man into Deer's guy. Let him walk right through the middle. Brief
Thompson
numbers here.
In the corner, big high step there from Waters. His shot ends up wide. Angus McDonnell looking for it.
That's well done by O'Toole. Those are big loose balls behind the goal line.
Just looks like a little extra bounce in the step of both of these two teams. You talked about it.
Yeah.
You knew it was going to be decided in the third period, and here we are.
Well, it's so much riding on this period, right? 2-1 going back to Mimico Arena if Mimico can hang on versus 3-0. If you're Orangeville, you're saying, we can really take a stranglehold with these 10 minutes, and obviously Mimico pretty well fighting for their lives tonight.
Of course, not officially, still that game left to come on Tuesday night. 8 p.m. start at Mimico Bowl. We'll have it for you here on YouTube, but as we keep saying, get there if you can. Dudemain over the top. He'll put it into Roussel in the corner. Halfway through Mimico's shot clock as they send it back to the far side. Waters cutting in. O'Toole looked off to his right, but was only able to see the ball skip into the stick of Elijah Edwards.
Yeah, another good look there. Again, Mimico's lefties, Waters and Dudemain, been driving hard in those high alleys. It seemed to be fairly effective for them. As here's Jackman's getting his own guy again.
Nearly open space for Matthews, who steps back and then shoots and just misses the right side of Whittam.
Yeah, good scramble there by Mimico, because I think Jackman had him in a good spot.
How about the hustle back, though, from Matthews, getting possession back after looked like Kerrigan had a bit of trouble with it.
Yeah, if you're Mimico, you really want to be clean with your exits, clean with your breakouts, limit transition against, and limit penalties. Those are going to be the keys. If Orangeville's going to score, make them earn it.
Jackman over the top, bouncer there, hit the shoulder of Whittam. Billings, meanwhile, is down
got
and
smoked on a pick.
Headed off slowly.
If you've never been taking a really hard pick to the back, just above the hip, it is one of the least fun things to do in lacrosse.
Thompson into the corner, Roussel. Back across to the crease. McDonnell stopped by O'Toole.
Another ridiculous save there. Just making the. We've talked all playoffs, Matty, about how he makes it look easy. He's been forced to break into the special saves tonight, and he's been pretty solid.
Jackman gets his man one-on-one, under 10 to shoot. Hits the side of the net and up into the screening.
Mimico's trying to say this went off the back of the net on the ground, and the referees are going to agree with them.
Going to win the argument. Heard the big clank.
I'm not sure I believe that based on the fact that the ball bounced back towards us, but good bounce for the Mountaineers.
See if they can capitalize. Every lead they've had in this series has only ever stretched out to 2. Trying to take their biggest one here. Thompson, low shot. O'Toole slaps it away with that plastic-headed stick.
Got to get to Long here. Got to stop the ball. Yeah, there he goes.
Side steps. Vincent comes in and just over the crossbar. He was in the crease anyways.
For a big man, Long sure can change speed in a hurry. Kind of made it look like he was looking for a pass there, puts his foot in the ground, gets to the goal. As I don't think, by the way, Matty, not to jinx us, we haven't seen the wipe down.
The minor crew,
today.
yeah. Roussel, big high step, brings it down, cuts back, scores. First 3-goal lead of the series. And they are going to mop up the crease.
What a big play here by Roussel. They get the 5-on-4 advantage off a late sub. You see Deers getting off, and then Roussel is like, hold on, I'm open. And then the face dodge right here. That's pretty. Gets his defender leaning with one hand, and then another fake. Doesn't seem like he has a lot of room there to the short side, but he puts it in. Goes for a swim into the boards after that.
We are 4 minutes and 29 seconds into the third period, and this is our first wipe down of the game.
Yeah, and we're going with the volume here, the volume strategy. Just put out a bunch of little kids on the floor. Get it from a couple different angles here.
We had the girls' team and the boys' team, I think.
Yep.
So Mimico,
yeah,
8-5.
To the surprise of no one, the girls' team was more efficient, faster,
Yep.
did a better job.
Yeah, knew exactly where to go.
Yeah. Boys got a little distracted out there.
I guarantee you, if I was playing, we would have way more wipe downs. It is, as you said, it's warm. Not going to be any cooler on Tuesday either. We were up above 30 Celsius.
Oh, and Mimico's going to get a penalty here. Big moment in this game. 6-on-5 opportunity here for the Northmen.
Throughout the series, have usually been able to find an answer after Mimico score. Extra attacker will be Trey Deer. Up top, Bowie Horseman. Didn't get the follow through he wanted. A little extra shove there on Horseman. Tuguri gives him a bump.
Yeah, Vincent's going to go here. Right here on Pack. Boy, not a ton there.
Dean George is fired up over on the bench. Not sure if he's mad at Vincent or his team or the refs, but walking back and forth to anybody who will listen over there on that visitor's bench.
Strong right here with Bowie at the top. Haven't seen this look a ton.
Power play number 3, it's Spalina. Fakes and scores.
Well, I mentioned on the Finn Thompson goal, he called out a 50-goaler. Well, Joey Spalina, leading scorer in the OJLL this year, hits basically the same shot. A strong right look for Spalina. I've been talking about how he does his best work as a shooter on the power play, brings it over the top, hooks it back into the bottom left corner. That's a great shot. If you're Mimico, you can't let that derail you, right? I think probably a bad bounce on the penalty call. You can't worry about that now. You got to try to extend this lead back to 3, and most importantly, just keep the clock ticking. Say that 5 times fast.
No. Angus McDonnell to Thompson. Second goal of the game, both of them on the power play. There's a bouncer there from McDonnell, kicked out by O'Toole.
Yeah, another good save there. I think O'Toole got the glove down.
Long throws the face mask back, not going to get the call. As Thompson was on him as they cross center. Orangeville 2 for 3, both of them out of the stick at number 22. Swim move here from Jackman. He'll get to the crease. Taguri trying to keep him at bay. Very close to a holding call. None upcoming as it bounces back to Horseman. And the shot clock will sound.
Good shift by Taguri there, just hanging on. Jackman's a lot to deal with in those ISO scenarios, and he loves to go underneath, and Taguri looked a little strenuous there, but just does it just enough to keep it up.
Dante Bowen and Lucas Dudemain have found each other once again.
Having a good battle in the corner here.
Ball arrives on scene and quickly back in the stick of Waters, who takes it right in on O'Toole. Looks like he took a half step backwards, but kept the ball in front of him.
I mean, those are grade A looks, right? Waters coming basically right down Main Street. McDonnell had a good one on the last shift, too. That's what you want. O'Toole just keeps making the saves.
Liam Matthews going to take it into the house here, and this one stopped by Whittam.
Yeah, that's where Matthews likes to do a lot of his work. Like I've been saying, on the toe drag and the underneath plays. As a great play by Owen Ron here.
Him and McDonnell discussed it a little bit after. But Ron just standing up his man, forcing the 8 count.
Look out, this might be an adventure now too.
In and out of the stick of Cohen Jennings. Does get it across center into the stick of Jackman. Couple Mountaineers caught.
Yeah, they got to get back.
Back across center. Onofrio one-on-one with Begley.
Boy, what a play by Begley there. Just ball pressure, eating up his guy.
And Taguri coming off the bench. Another good defensive play from Taguri. Trey Deer, meanwhile, picks it up. The sneak attack.
What a wild sequence this is. Really good defense from Begley there. They just can't seem to find the ball. Deer's going to find a way to get it right here. He finds his way through a few guys, and I mean, I just don't know how that goes in. Just a big-time player finding a way to make a play as Tavares gets a breakaway.
Into O'Toole. That's the playoff play.
Boy, another grade A save by O'Toole here. Now transition.
Spallina off the bench, low into Whittam.
Yeah, you needed that one.
Spallina got blown up after. Here's Bryden Pitt coming across center. Don't look now, it's a 1-goal game, 8-7.
A lot of room for Finn here.
Mimico has controlled the third period throughout these playoffs. Right now it's the Northmen, although Thompson trying to get momentum back for his team.
I just said, Matty, big-time players making big-time plays. And too much room for Thompson here. Look how much space he has. And he's bigger than people realize. And just shrugs off rough and then reaches around. Could you have called a Ward? Yes. Should you expect to get that call defensively in the third period of an OJLL Finals game? No, you should not.
No. And the fans off to our right are back in it. Tavares picks up the faceoff, goes in on Bowen. That shot just high over top of the net. Taguri will bring it back down. Sounds like Mark Waters has picked up his third assist of the game. Give him 4 points. But more crucially, the lead back up to 2. This is the total goals Mimico scored in game 1 and 2. Their next one will put them in double digits for the first time in the finals. Roussel out of the corner at the shot clock. O'Toole wants a wipe down. He's going to get it at the next stoppage. Meanwhile, Trey Deer comes across center. He'll find Jackman trailing the play. Over to Horseman. Ron setting room in front of him, back for Matthews. One-hand pickup, Horseman. Pitt forces him out wide. Back to Northmen, shot well falling, bounces up and into the screening, and we are going to get a stoppage here to wipe the crease down by O'Toole.
What a great set there by Mimico defensively. Kerrigan getting it done on ball, just really pressing on the ball here. This is going to be another. So Deer's going to pick it up right here and then somehow find his way through this mess. And then he was looking right at it, so he clearly saw some sort of hole there.
It's the hidden ball play where you don't pass to anyone.
I thought for sure that went behind the net, and then Thompson says, "Get off me." Barnett comes over, not enough to knock him off the line, and Thompson just reaches over. You can see how fired up he is. I believe that's 3 or 4 now for Thompson in a big game.
I've got him for 4. Same pattern he had in that Peterborough series.
Yeah,
Did not
absolutely.
score in game 1, 1 goal in game 2. That's where Thompson was coming in.
There's a good look at the consolidation now.
And then in game 3, he scored 4, which he's done here in game number 3 yet again.
Yeah,
as called by offensive coach and mayor of Mimico, Tanner Thompson.
and older brother, Tanner Thompson,
and older brother.
Right? No one knows him better.
I don't know which one of those things allowed him to make that prediction.
yeah, some combination. Oh boy, look out for Long here coming down the backside.
Aaron pass into
There he is.
Edwards, back to Long, and Mimico snuffs it out. It is Finn Thompson.
I feel like we've seen that like 3 times this series. Just missed exchanges coming out of timeouts for both teams. Those are obviously frustrating, and now Thompson stuck on D.
Long cuts to the crease, save made by Whittam. Deer will pick up the loose ball.
Still got Finn stuck on defense here. We'll see if Orangeville tries to go at him. Certainly a capable enough defender.
He ties up with Cohen Jennings. Delayed penalty coming far side as Onofrio got a high hit. Rebound to Long, he scores!
We mentioned Aiden Long's a really good hockey player. This is a hockey-type play. Just goes to the front of the net where good things happen. The penalty was before this. Horseman takes the shot. Whittam steps out, makes a nice save, and then Long picks it up. He's got impressive mitts for a guy who doesn't spend his full time, A, playing lacrosse, and B, playing offense. Just has a good knack for the net.
Talked about Angus McDonnell having to make decisions coming up in the next couple of years. I think Aiden Long's going to have a big choice to make coming up pretty soon, too. He's got this lacrosse thing pretty well figured out, and someone's going to take a chance on him in the draft in a couple of years.
Violation there for Orangeville, but now these have been an adventure for Mimico.
They get it in the stick of Moran Weeks. He does cross center.
Yeah, good play.
Colin Barnett on him, so he'll pass to Justin Lee. Back to a 1-goal game as we pass the halfway mark of the third. Justin Lee drops the shoulder. Passing back to Finn. They can't connect. And it's picked up by Barnett.
They got to be careful here. Mimico's got to do a better job of getting back on defense.
Trey Deer
giving up some opportunities here.
will slow things down and wait for the offense to get out there. Jackman the last one. It's Ron playing through to Spalina. Now Matthews from outside. Big stutter step to Deer, in tight to the crease, and a little too tight in the eyes of the official. He goes and takes a run at Whittam, who had come out of the crease. That's a legal play, although usually not met very well by the opposition. Roussel trying to lead the cutting Angus McDonnell, and those two just missed.
Yeah, that was a good look, but you got to settle down a little bit. Mimico, on the Mimico side, excuse me.
Getting a little sloppy right now as the floor
Just
starting to tilt in Orangeville's direction.
Yep.
Outside shot, Tavares turns and chases it down floor. Good eat, don't rub it indeed.
Absolutely.
Trey Deer
Just leave it on
recovered.
the ground here if you're Pitt.
Fired back towards center. Deer and Pitt still one-on-one with each other.
Can't afford penalties now either way.
That was Tavares, excuse me. Perhaps having a word about that hit on the goaltender.
Advantage Orangeville. Waters broke his stick.
Dudemain puts it behind the net to Moran Weeks. Falling up top was Pitt now. Moran Weeks does the same. Down in a heap in the middle is Siapara. Bowen goes sliding after the shooter. And we're going to get a stoppage. We're going to need to wipe the whole defensive end on Orangeville's side of the floor.
Siapara looks like he's banged up. Should be okay. That's the shot on Deer, or by Deer, excuse me. And then this is just a messy possession. Tavares hits the ground, ends up leading to a Mimico possession where like half the players on the floor ended up on the ground at some point. So it's going to start here. Moran Weeks doing his best. There's 1 down, there's 2 down, 3 down, 4 down. And then Bowen's going to end up down. So 5 players end up hitting the deck.
Well, if you're watching this live right now, subscribe to the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League YouTube channel, which is where we'll be live Tuesday night, 8 o'clock. Get your calendar book out, check what you're doing, and change it.
And cancel it, yeah.
Because
and if there's
OJLL will take center stage.
If there's any doubt, and I don't think there could be based on how this series has gone, about how hard these guys are playing, look at that last possession.
Goodness,
like,
yes.
The floor is concrete, and these guys are doing everything they can to not even to score, to not score, but just to keep a ball on the ground or to get one more check on a guy. You know, that's what winning takes, and that's why these teams have made it this far. As we're getting towels down on most of the floor at this point.
Need the Zamboni from next door, I think.
Yeah.
We are well above 30 degrees Celsius here tonight as well. Closing in on 87 Fahrenheit.
And it feels like temperature, humidity-wise, of
all of the Fahrenheit.
Several,
lots of them, yes.
More Fahrenheits. Just a wonderful night of Junior A lacrosse, and expecting 8 more good minutes here.
Spalina may have taken a high hit. Big one over in the far side. Ron went down, got up slowly. Bagley down floor looking for Vincent. Jackman intercepts it.
What a play.
Trey Deer back for Jackman. Hard shot. You want to talk Happy Meals? That was going to be the full bucket of fries. That was one of those sugary cereal boxes that's got a good prize at the bottom.
Boy, these clears continue to be an adventure here, especially in the third period for Mimico.
Feels like we've been looking to our right for
an awful lot, haven't we?
A long time here in this third. Matthews ducks and drives off the shoulder of Whittam and up into the Mimico stands. That standing room only by the glass seems to be growing as this game goes on.
Tired defense now for Mimico. Find a way.
Vincent Orfrio stood up by Vincent. Ron's going to chase him down. Crowd seeing that they can help out the defense. Here's Deer, turns and fires. We're all tied up.
And how often throughout the summer, Matt, if you were talking about these hidden plays, loose ball resets, etc., Jackman makes the play to maybe save a goal, and on the continued possession, Orangeville ends up scoring. They throw it into Deer, another theme I've been talking about, throw it into those guys, and Deer's got Begley all over him, catches and finishes. Tie game, 6 minutes and 54 seconds left. Buckle up, and if you're Mimico, you got to get back into attack mode. I think they're maybe trying to run out the clock there just a little bit. Now you know you're going to have to score at least one more. If you're Orangeville, you got the building on your side. You got some momentum going. Just keep it rolling.
That's a tray for Deer. 3 in the game. Tavares looking to lead Hobbs, who's gone through the crease. Taguri was tied up at the faceoff. Him and Pack were all over each other.
Probably want to pull that one out, I think. Just haven't played much offense. You want to get Dudeman, Finn Thompson, your other O guys onto the floor here.
Matthews, his lane cut off again. Jackman trying to open space. Matthews still with it. He's going to try again. Gets to the front, over the shoulder. Somehow Whittam made the stop.
Matthews is so good at going underneath. That was a pretty good shift there from Billings, but he just feels like he's so slippery when he can get underneath, and he goes really hard.
Thompson cross to Dudemain. Now Moran Weeks. Graydon Stokes will play high on him. Moran Weeks across to Thompson, trying to find the cutter. I believe that was Dudemain that was all tied up. Bowen was on this side. There in time to pick up the rebound. He can run transition.
Yeah, right idea though for Mimico. Just couldn't connect the dots.
Dante Bowen and Lucas Dudemain are going to be having dreams about each other, not the good kind. Here's Spalina. Cross to Trey Deer. Looking to give them the lead. The bouncer off Whittam. Oh, will they say no?
That just went straight out of the barn here. Mimico's guys are gassed right now. Everyone's gassed. So a lot of hands on knees here. Who's going to be the one to break the spell?
It's to the outside. McDonnell postures up against Long. Taken down. Extra whistles and a wipe down. Everybody take a breath.
Yeah.
5 to go.
Everybody take a breath is right. Fans, coaches, broadcasters, but most importantly the players here. Fatigue setting in.
Here's a look, I think, at that last set. Mimico likes to go behind the net as they did there.
That's that first goal from Thompson.
I think this is going to be Finn's hat trick.
Yep. Up to 4 now. So this is at the end of the first period. Comes over the pick, hits it from the outside. Next one's going to be the power play goal to the bottom left. And then the last one, the drive at the start of the third period.
Tied at 9. Mimico has not scored 10 here in the series. Orangeville up 2-0.
Moving pick call.
Looking to grab the series. While headed back to Mimico on Tuesday. Mimico would love to have a game in hand as they go home. Bowen on the far side looking at Tudemain. I'm trying to work
this through Finn if I can.
He's in the corner on the near side.
Yeah, don't overthink this.
Away from Dante Bowen. Moran Weeks does give it to the captain. Low shot. That's wide of the net, and it's back over.
Yeah, Finn was wide open, but Stokes had such good ball pressure that he took away the passing lane. It's a good job by 6 there on the ball.
Well, let's go Northman chant breaking out in behind the net of Whittam now.
This is a nervous building. Folks on both sides.
Matthews, Spalina. Up top, Liam Matthews one more time. Deer's going to take care of 2 defenders himself. Roll back to the crease. Shot from Matthews wide. Pitt brings the rebound down. He'll get past Deer.
Got to move it here.
Has McDonnell on the near side, and they do cross center in the allotted 8 seconds. Justin Lee bringing it down as we're under 4 to play in regulation.
So Dudeman coming late here.
Both teams with a timeout. Thompson.
You can tell how tired these guys are.
Bends over. Back to the far side. Dudemain didn't get a lot on the shot. Lee looking for Moran Weeks on the crease.
Boy, Lee's catch radius is crazy. You hear like NFL wide receivers. His reach is so long. He wasn't anywhere close to that ball and just reached out for it.
Onofrio and Jackman, play hidden ball. Jackman's got it. Dropped the shoulder, no lane to the net. Tried to give to Cohen Jennings. He gets chased into the far boards there by Taguri. Comes back to Deer, his shot wide. And every time he touches it here, it's oohed and awed and off the stick of Begley and up out of play.
Terrible bounce there for Mimico. There's 1 second left on the shot clock. I don't even know if Begley was trying to pick it up or just keep it on the ground, but bad bounce either way.
Hornhead fans trying to will their team to one more goal. Matthews, far side. Deers got the corner, and it rolls out wide. Sorry, that was Horseman on the shot.
Yeah, what a take.
Either way, it's Vincent that picks up the loose ball.
These guys are warriors. What a game we're watching right now.
Finn Thompson had the cutting Dudemain, bounced off his stick. Sia Perro will pick it up. Has Nate Ruff with him. Pass back. Last year's finalist for Transition Player of the Year. He'll give to Onofrio.
Who's going to be the hero here? 2 minutes left.
It was Onofrio that scored the dagger in game number 2.
Yep.
He'll pass back to this year's scoring champ, Joey Spallina. In front to Deer. Is it Trey Deer time? Not yet. Bouncer in for Whittam.
Look out. They're pressing again here.
On the other side of the ball, you would expect it to be Thompson time. Late in the game, Mimico historically have gone to that last name. Here he is right now, number 17. He is the captain. You can tell just by the way he's walking how tired he is, though.
Yep.
Is there one more shot? Yes, there is, but it's wide.
Look out. You got to get to Teeple here.
Inside the 2-minute warning, Teeple's going to peel off and head out. Crowd has silenced, at least for now.
Everyone.
I think they're running out of juice.
All the O guys on Mimico's bench sitting down right now, just trying to get any air they can.
Jackman, Spallina outside, Owen Wren. One-on-one there with Taguri. Spallina feeds back to Ron in front, in the crease. They call it off. It got behind Whittam, but Ron was in the crease. And that's going to call the Towel Brigade out one more time.
Wow. Buy the whole seat, Matty. You'll only need the edge. Looks like a good call to me.
Yeah. Remember,
left foot is in the crease there.
Remember, it's a cylinder rule here. If you're familiar with NLL box rules, here in the summer, that crease stretches all the way up, and once your feet cross that, it's a dead ball.
Official was right there. Man. Drama, intensity, emotion, right? Like, this is great. This is great. Who's going to be the hero?
What a series.
It's a game of inches, right? If that, depending what happens here, I think that was the right call, but not by 2 feet, by a toe length, right?
Sure. There's been a couple plays in the last couple minutes you could point to on either side.
Absolutely.
Here's Moran Weeks. All the big boys out for Mimico after they got a breather with that wipe down. Closing in on the final minute here in regulation. Thompson gets dumped and slides through the crease.
What a shift by Pack. Cam Pack, 55. Excellent defense there.
Teeple to Deer. Inside the last minute, both teams have timeouts. 1 for Orangeville, 2 for Mimico. Spallina across to Matthews. Big high step, he'll cut back. Still in the stick of Matthews. Shot! Wide of Whittam. 5 to go. Up top, Horseman misses as well. Big rugby scrum in front. Looking for it was Trey Deer. Got a big piece of Ben McIsaac.
Yeah, he got away with one there. They're obviously not going to call much in the last minute.
And 36.8 seconds. I was going to say, no time for a Mimico timeout, but they signal a wipe down in the crease of O'Toole.
I think you take the timeout, right? Regardless. You're not going to go, you don't have time to go 2 for 1.
Well, don't need it now because the Towel Brigade coming back.
Well, also, if you are going to take it, let the wipe down go all the way through and then take it.
And then take it, yeah.
Because your clock's going to start no matter what.
Well, nobody's got the chalkboard yet on that Mimico bench.
Yeah,
Dean
looks like they're going to let him play.
Just kind of walking around. Tanner's talking to one of his extra guys.
Whatever it is, you got to get something going inside, I think.
As we look at how we got to this tie game. Trey
Here
Deer.
we go.
Get excited. Here it comes with Justin Lee out of the corner. This Waters is going to go over the top of Dante Bowen. No room to the net, 15 to shoot. Back to the captain, Thompson. Finn Thompson, Moran Weeks. He'll lower his shoulder into pressure, under 10 to shoot. Dodge the first one. Bowen knocks him down. Ball pops free. Dante Bowen picks up, and all of Orangeville calls timeout in unison.
Great defensive possession by Orangeville.
They've stood tall in the third period, haven't they?
They absolutely have. Just, 2 goals, 1 goal in the third period for Mimico.
Still.
So 7 seconds, you still have to advance it, right? So they're going to get the ball in their own crease. So, that's priority one, is getting the ball up the floor. You're not going to have a chance for probably multiple passes. So you're going to want to either kick to a shooter or advance the ball via a pass and then screen for a shooter. And boy, oh boy, is this just an anxious arena right now, and I think we feel it too.
You know, there's been games in this playoffs where we've thought we knew how it was going to play out long before it was over.
Sure.
This not one of them.
No.
Trying to put time back on the clock. It was stopped with 7.2 when timeout was called.
Yeah.
So I wonder if we're going back somewhere in the 9 range. Spalina, Deere, Jackman. Far side's going to be Ron, Horseman, and Liam Matthews are going to be, the 6 attackers here for the Northmen with 8 seconds to go. Cross for Trey Deere. Where's the play? Jackman sets the screen. Deere gets stuffed, still managing to take it through in the crease. Horn sounds, and we're going to overtime.
I think that ball went in, which is absurd, but clearly in the crease.
Everybody's going to talk about it in front of the double stack standing room only in behind the net of Whittam. But knotted at 9s here in game 3. We got extra free lacrosse.
Man, oh man, Natty, what a night, what an environment, what a game.
What a series.
What a series, 60, they say 60 plus. We're in plus territory now, Matty.
And this is sudden victory overtime. Orangeville without a timeout here. Mimico's got 2. So they can draw up a play if they get this face-off possession.
Boy, oh boy.
Scheduled for, I believe, 10 minutes.
Different rules now. It used to be non-sudden death.
Right.
Right? Now
full 10, but
we're
sent,
pretty sure it's sudden death.
I sent the text beforehand because I got caught. I think, is Mark Thompson going to go check the rule book? I sent the text and got confirmation that it is indeed sudden death overtime. So OT coming up in a minute and a half. We'll take a timeout before then. Give everyone a chance to catch their breath before overtime here in game number 3 of the Junior A Finals. All right, so everybody confirming what we already knew, that this is indeed an overtime period that is sudden death, because no one wants to be in this hot barn longer than they have to. But I'm mostly kidding because this has been absolutely fantastic here tonight. DJ Cleveley taking the opportunity to draw the offensive play. He's got the entire O-line surrounding him.
Who is going to be the hero? That's the question. We're going to figure it out the next 10, and if not, the 10 after that. If not, the 10 after that. We're going home with the winner.
Get comfy, get buckled in. It's overtime here in game number 3 of the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League Finals. And the opening face-off won by Siapera and the Northmen.
We saw them in Beaches go for a cross pick for Bowie Horseman, so look for that here.
Since the trade deadline, they
Watch
have 2.
Trade Deer right now. He might be going right to Bowie's guy.
They have 2 overtime wins, both of them off the stick.
Yeah, cross
of
pick
the
for
former
Spalina.
Brampton captain. It's Spalina. Now Matthews. Horseman, far side. He is open. Matthews going to take it there. Bouncer sails wide of the net. And now we'll see if Dean George wants timeout. Yes, he does. So that's his 1 allotted for the overtime period. I don't think Orangeville gets one back here, so I don't think they will have one here in this extra frame.
So what do you do now? You're on your 20th drawn up play. What's your 20th best idea, right?
Wow.
That's another feature of series lacrosse is
you've gone so deep in the playbook that the other team has seen all your options as well.
Yeah, you just played them 2 days ago and then the 2 days before that. The last team to win in this building was Mimico. Can they do it again here? That's the question.
To get an official victory, there was a Toronto one.
Yep.
There was a Toronto one, 12-6 in this building that got wiped out, turned into a 6-0 Orangeville victory.
Strong intermission. Strong left here. A lot of room for Finn Thompson and Lee.
Wonder who the play is
Prospect
for.
coming for Lee. Oh, Moran Weeks was open. They couldn't find him.
Lee's going to come and set the screen so Dunamine can get a low shot and the game winner! And they're headed back to Mimico.
And they're going with the Dane Dobie Selly, just getting right out of the building.
They might run themselves down the Highway 10.
Wow. What a gutsy effort by the Mountaineers here. And they have life. Going back to Mimico Arena 2-1. Who's going to be the hero, Maddie? Lucas Duneman, and why not? 8 goals in the first 2 games, a couple here tonight. And what have I been saying? He wants to get over the top and shoot with his left hand, sweeping towards the middle. Going left to right, sets his feet, and just rips it through the 5-hole.
How about the 2 guys setting screens in there as well? First one on Bowen, next one on Stokes, who had been the 2 biggest defensive guys for Orangeville down the stretch there in the 3rd period.
And then they go right out the door.
I told you they're running back to Mimico.
Wow.
Along with all those fans you see cheering off to our right as well. We got ourselves a series 2-1 as Mimico wins here 10-9 in overtime.
What a game. Maddie, check out lacrosseculturedaily.com for some thoughts. After I have some time.
You have some.
After some time for me to figure out what the heck I just watched for the last 2 hours.
Sure.
And I love my job, Maddie.
Well, you get to do it again Tuesday night. Why not? In Mimico, get there if you can. 8 p.m. start time at Mimico Arena. If you can't, we got you covered right here on the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in tonight. On behalf of Jonathan Donville, our director Rachel Wolf, our producer Gary Morrison for the JVI Sports Network, Colleen Grimes, the Ontario Junior Lacrosse League, I'm Matthew Carrick. We'll talk to you on Tuesday night where we've got ourselves a series.
Top show, cute in a cocktail lounge. Crowd the boys and make some
place of poison.